can y'all do me a favor? Just make sure you like this video, share this video, subscribe to our channel, make this shit go viral so all these bitches can see what they missed out on when they bailed on me. Thank you. Ugh. I'm all alone. There's no one here beside me. Where did they go? They're in my basement hiding. Just kidding, guys. Hello, and welcome back to What Podcast. I'm Aubriana, and it's just me tonight. All of my podmates left me. Where did they go, you might ask? Well, I'll tell you. But before I get into it, let me just tell you, this is my worst fear, is people abandoning me. And they all abandoned me. And we started this podcast with the idea that we would do it as a group, and we would be successful as a group, or we would fail as a group. And I guess they couldn't hold out, and they just decided they were done with it. So it's just me now, and I'm gonna be successful. Let me tell you what happened with my brother and sister-in-law, because you know how siblings fight. They decided that this wasn't something they could do anymore, at least for the weekend, because they are off to see Kendrick Lamar live, and somebody else, or somebody's else, I don't know. They told me, but I don't remember, because all I heard was Kendrick Lamar, and I did not hear an invite, so they're on my list. And there's Jason. He thought family was more important than this podcast, so I guess he's visiting them for Easter, so all of them. We're gonna do this by ourselves. But I'm gonna eat a cracker because I'm starving. I don't really know what I'm gonna talk about tonight. I'm just gonna kind of blabber and decide what to leave in and what to cut out. This will probably be a Tuesday episode, like a shorter episode. But did I need to record this weekend by myself? No, I did not. We recorded extra episodes because this trip for my brother and sister-in-law was planned. Jason just dropped that bomb on me like last weekend that he was leaving, but But my brother and sister have had this planned. So we had pre-recorded some episodes because we did not record last weekend because it was my daughter's birthday party. And then we knew we weren't recording this weekend. So we have enough episodes to post at least once this week, but not twice. So I want to get content to post on Tuesday as well. So this is Tuesday's podcast. I hope you guys enjoy. How did this whole podcast start? I don't know. I feel like we were kind of like sitting around talking. So we've been spending every Saturday together since like, I want to say like right after my brother and sister-in-law's wedding. And we just like used to come and hang out and play games. And then Jason, I want to say, was joking about starting a podcast. And then it became this real thing where we were all like, yeah, we really want to start a podcast. And then all of a sudden I was just like, hey, we're recording a podcast tonight when you guys come over. So here we are. Now we have a podcast. And now they all left. It wasn't even my idea in the first place. It was Jason's. They will be back for the next episode, and I don't know what we're going to talk about, so if you guys have any ideas, let me know. Also, if you guys have listened to any of our podcasts that really like caught your attention and that you want to hear more about, let me know that too, because we're trying to like narrow down what we talk about, and we're having a hard time deciding. I mean, we're going to keep it to like a good chunk of topics, but we don't want to be completely out there. So yeah, I am really sad that they're not here this weekend though, because they always bring bomb ass food and I'm hungry, but I'm trying to lose weight too. So I've been like cutting down my portion sizes, which is really sad, but like I need to, because your girl can eat. I miss their food, and I think Saturdays will be the days that I just enjoy the food. I'm going to talk about me tonight. One of my hobbies outside of doing the podcast, being a mom, being a wife, which aren't really hobbies, it's like my life, but is reading. I love a good book at the end of a long day. I love a good book. I'm more like a romance girly, but I'm also like, I like a lot of different romance books. Like, I don't really like slow burn. That's kind of my least favorite, but I like A Good Friends to Enemies. I love a suspenseful thriller romance. Those are my favorite. I need to find more of those that are like really, really, they have to be so well written though. I get so frustrated because they're just not well written. Excuse me. A lot of thriller romances that I read are just not well written, and I end up hating them. So, I don't know. But I'm on the hunt for a good thriller romance. I just read a couple books that I was not a fan of. Not at all, but you win some, you lose some, right? I'm so hungry right now, you guys. I also love my social media. I love to scroll, but I also love to create. So, like, when we started doing this podcast, it was kind of like agreed upon that I would be the editor because I've been doing social media for 5 years now. And I edit all my own stuff. And I have been editing all of the podcasts. So if you like the editing, and that's all me. But if you don't, that's all Jason. Or Becca. Or Alston. It's not me. If you don't like it, I didn't edit it. If you like it, I edited it. Just kidding. But yeah, so when we started this podcast, it was kind of clear that I would be the editor because I knew what I was doing. And down the line, I'll start teaching them how to edit so that I can have help with it. Or we will maybe one day, knock on wood, that's a window. Maybe one day we will be able to hire somebody to edit for us. But right now I am the editor. I kind of do all of the social media posting. I do all the promotions. They like share stuff as well, but I create all the videos that we share on our social media. And I don't mind doing it. I actually enjoy doing it. And I think if, down the line, if this actually like goes big, it's going to be really nice. And I will be really proud of myself. And I think they should all be proud of themselves as well. My role in this podcast, like that too, I always worry and I ask them every week because I'm the one who introduces the podcast, like, or the topic for the night. And I'm always like, does somebody else want to do it? Like, I don't have to do it every week. Someone else can do it. And they're like, no, you do it. You know what you're doing. So you just do it. So if you guys are ever like, wow, she takes over the podcast, I really don't. This is a group project. I might do a little bit more work than them because I edit, but this is all of our ideas coming to life. Everybody gets an input, everybody gets a vote, everybody gets, to talk about whatever topic they want to talk about. And it's really nice. It's really fun. We all love it. We all enjoy it. And it's kind of like nice to get a break from real life for a little bit and sit down and hang out with our friends. That's why this is like so strange tonight because I have nobody to talk to. I'm just talking to myself in the camera. But it just felt wrong not to do a podcast, Coming up with our topics, though, that's like one of the hardest things because we have like a list, but you have to be in the mood for a topic, you have to be really like geared up and amped up to do it for it to really be executed well. And a lot of times we're just like, I don't really want to talk about that. I don't really want to talk about that. I don't really want to talk about that. I'm not super excited to talk about that. And then it's like, you get a boring, dull podcast. No one wants a boring and dull podcast. We want laughter. We want fun. We want enjoyment. We want entertainment. That's what we're here for. Pure entertainment. This is your friendly reminder that What Podcast is for entertainment purposes only. Please do not sue us. It's really hard sometimes to hone in on our topics, which is why we love your guys' input. Like, leave in the comments topics you guys want to hear us talk about, or things that you've heard us talk about that you want us to go deeper into. We would love to talk about whatever you guys want to hear, because we want to satisfy you guys while also pleasing ourselves. That sounded so wrong. I did not mean it that way. No one's here to laugh at me today. I don't like it. Not at all. One thing we really have to work on in this podcast, though, is not talking over each other. I was getting so frustrated editing this episode that I just posted, because I swear on my life I had to cut so much out because somebody was talking over somebody else. And when we use 2 different cameras and 2 different mics, it's so hard to overlap the voices. And genuinely or generally, you're not going to want to do that, especially once we have our own mics, because everybody eventually is going to have their own microphone. And we're going to have maybe 3 cameras. So we have one doing like recording this side of the couch, one recording that side, and one recording all of us. And we can't have everyone talking over each other. So this week's was super frustrating, and it was supposed to be a lot longer than it was, but I had to cut so much out because we were talking over each other and it just was a jumbled mess and didn't make sense. So yeah, that's fun, but we're working on it. We're newbies. We're still like figuring things out. It's a lot easier to do a podcast by yourself than it is with 4 other people. Not that I'm saying I want to do a podcast by myself, because I really don't enjoy the fact that nobody's laughing at me right now or nobody's talking to me right now, but we're a work in progress, and it's constantly going to need some fine tuning and some adjustments and all of that, and we'll get there eventually, so please stick it out with us until we do. Would you guys ever be interested in hearing more like mom content, like mom conversations? Because like I don't talk about I do, like I throw it in there here and there, but I've never actually like sat down and really talked about being a mom, because no one else is a mom in our group, so that's not really something I talk about a lot. And it's honestly not like bad. It's kind of nice to kind of separate myself from the mom version of me and just be me, the human version of me that's not tending to everybody else. You know, this is kind of like my time. But I would love to tell some funny stories about my kids, because I really think I could come up with quite a few. I love you, I love you, I love you. My husband brought my 4-year-old to school to pick up my other 2 kids, and he's holding her, and all the kids are coming out of the school with the teachers and stuff, and he looks at her and she's just mean mugging all these kids and flipping them off. I'm like, child, you know that's only allowed in the house. My kids are ruthless too. When I was pregnant with my last daughter, my 1-year-old, my 5-year-old, well, she's 6 now, but my dad came over one day, and like I had a big bump at this point, and so my dad came over, and he's got a big belly, he's got a pop belly, and not so much anymore, but anyway, he came over one day, and my daughter went up to him and said, "Grandpa, do you have a baby in your belly?" I'm like, that is so mean. Oh my gosh, another story. So we went to my daughter's preschool like sign up thing, orientation, open house, whatever you want to call it, and they're like asking me all these questions, and I'm asking her because she answers, they're about her. So one of the questions was, what makes you angry? So I looked at my daughter and I was like, what makes you angry? And she said, when you hit me. I do not hit my children, by the way. But she's so confident. She looked at her teachers and was like, when my mom hits me. So I look at her again and I'm like, no, Anna, what makes you really, really angry? Dead in the eyes, this kid looks at me and says, when you hit me really, really hard. I was mortified, and I was also a little bit scared that I was going to get in trouble for that. And I'm like, please listen to me when I say I do not hit my children. I could never. It physically pains me to think of anybody hitting my children, much less myself. I do not hit my children. I was so mortified that she would even say that. When I'm on TikTok, so first off, the internet is a toxic place, okay? Everybody's gonna judge you. People judge the crap out of me. They try to talk you off the internet. Don't let it get to you. Don't let the haters get you down. I've been dealing with haters for 5 years. It never stops because there's always mean people out there. But every time I go on TikTok, there's videos about this one family, the Resilient Jenkins. And guys, this is all for entertainment purposes. This is just my thoughts and opinions. But if you guys know anything about the Resilient Jenkins, you know that they were living in a 1-bedroom house. Their kids were sleeping by the freaking stove and the door. And apparently it was a bad neighborhood. I don't know. And then they got kicked out. And now they're living in a hotel. And let me tell you something. I'm not going to go too deep into their situation because there's a lot of videos out there. Some of them vile and just mean. And some of them justified. Especially when it comes to putting your kids in that situation. You are causing lasting trauma by not having a stable house to live in for your children. But this girl has demands, and she's got things that she won't accept in a house, and it's at that point you're just gonna have to live in whatever you can live in. She's like, I don't want a 2-bedroom house, I don't want to live in a trailer, whatever. I live in a double wide trailer, you guys. So 4 years ago, our lease ended at our old house, and we couldn't, it was the middle of the month, so there were no houses really up for rent, because normally they start on, leases start on the 1st. We ended up finding this house that we live in now, but we couldn't move in until the 1st, and that was a 2-week wait. But this house is a double wide trailer. It's a 3-bedroom house, and is it big enough? It is big enough for my kids, 2 to a room. and me in another room. Like, it's big enough. But is it the best house I've ever lived in? No. It looks nice, but it's, there's a lot of issues with the house. But it's safe for my children. They have a good place to lay their head. We've been in this house for 4 years. They have stable housing. They always have had stable housing. This girl's online saying, my kids have no trauma. I'm going to make sure they don't have the trauma that I have. Well, girl, you're giving them a different kind of trauma, and it's not going to be any better than yours. Whatever your trauma is, just know your kids are going to have a lot of trauma to heal from too, because of what you're putting them through. So yeah, I don't know, have you guys ever heard about her? Because I see her everywhere. She's getting like millions and millions of views, which is kind of crazy to me, because like, you got people that are out there doing their best every single day trying to make a little extra income on social media, and they can't get jack. I am one of those people. I have 97,000, almost 98,000 followers, and I make $300 a month. This girl's pulling in thousands of dollars a month, and she can't find housing, and she's being picky about housing. Like, girl, get real. Get your kids in a house. That's my thoughts and opinions on that. But I'm not going to go too deep into that because I don't want to get in trouble on here. It's raining outside right now, which is so nice because it has been snowing and like storming, not thunderstorms, but like snowstorms for months. Is it raining? Is that the noise I'm hearing? Oh yeah, it's totally raining. I love the rain. I need to go outside and sniff it. I need to sniff the air. All of the snow is melting. I swear on my life, we have giant snowbanks still, but they're finally melting. The hope is that by the time the kids go back after Easter, the snow will be gone and they won't have to bring their snow pants to school anymore, because this is ridiculous. It's almost May and we still have giant snow hills. I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of it. Make it go away. This is like so weird. I'm all alone. Everybody left me. And we'll be back to our regular scheduled. Ooh. The last few weeks of podcast recording have been so hard because like my brother and sister-in-law were chicken sitting. They were sitting on chickens for a while. Helping them lay some eggs. Okay, sorry. So my brother and sister-in-law for the last few weeks have been chicken sitting. Yes, sitting on chickens. And the chickens don't go to bed until like 8 o'clock. Yeah, they have to go put the chickens to bed. Good night. They sing them little lullabies. They tuck them in, put a blankie over them, all that. And then they come to my house. So, like, they weren't getting to my house till like 8:30, 9 o'clock. And normally we have food around 6:37 and start the podcast by 8 or 9 so that we're done with the podcast by 10 or 11 and we can play some games. But the last few weeks they haven't been able to get here till 9. And then we're not done with the podcast till 11, sometimes later, because we blab and laugh and it just takes us a while sometimes. And then we, at that point, wouldn't even want to play games because we'd eat before too. So I guess we wouldn't really start the podcast till like 10 or 11 because we'd be eating and talking, and then we'd do the podcast and then there was just no time for games. And I've been like jonesing for a game night. We finally did that last week, but we need a longer one. So it'll be really nice after they're back from their trip, bitches. It'll be really nice to be able to knock the podcast out, and play some games. Because I'm desperate for a game night. So yeah, anyway guys, I just rambled for I don't even know how long. Hopefully it was enjoyable. Hopefully there's some content in there that you guys can enjoy. I might even post this on Saturday. I don't know. But we will be back to regularly scheduled programming. I will be posting a podcast on Thursday with all of us. So have no fear. And then this coming weekend, not this coming weekend, but next weekend, we will be recording another episode with the whole crew of the podcast. So stay tuned for that. And I hope you guys enjoyed me rambling. Also, let me know what else you want to hear me talk about, or me and my husband. I think we're going to record a podcast while everybody's out of town too, or what you want the whole crew to talk about next week, because we love a good suggestion. Sometimes we come up with some suggestions, but it's like you got to be in the right mood to talk about these topics, and we're not always in the right mood. Like if we're not in the right mood, there's not going to be the energy there. There's not going to be the entertainment, the laughing, all of that. So got to be in the mood. Leave your suggestions in the comments. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share this video with your friends, because we want the world to see how dumb we are. Not dumb, but sometimes we're dumb. So anyway, I hope you guys have a great night. I'm gonna go read for a while. Read a book that I'm not really that excited to read, but I gotta read it because I gotta know what happens. And I'm gonna eat some food and chill the hell out on this lovely, rainy, stormy day. Night. What?